I came May 77. After 3 weeks, Clive Toy, the president, he resigned. Gordon Bradley, the coach, he was fired. I said to myself, oh my God, where am I?
Just weeks before he was fired, Bradley had dropped Canaglia from the first team.
They didn't like me. I'm sure they didn't like me. So there's only one way that we can get rid of this guy, probably drop him. But they have little minds. They thought then I would ask for a transfer or something. Forgetting that some people push the buttons.
On Giorgio's recommendation, Ross hired coach Eddie Firmani away from Tampa Bay.
He brought in his guy, Eddie Firmani, to coach the team, knowing that Eddie would do his bidding.
Just put the balls in front of Giorgio, because Giorgio, when he goes, he wants the ball in front of him, not behind him. You know?
And he flowered under Eddie, and he scored a bushel full of goals.
You knock all those beautiful balls just in front of him, put all the balls in there, so they go straight in goal. That's right. Oh, yeah.
It is unquestionable that Giorgio Canaglia had a malign influence over Steve Ross and therefore over the Cosmos. No question about that. I say malign advisedly. I could think of stronger words, but maybe women and children watching this.
You see, what they don't understand, people don't understand, if you do your job good, I'm going to give you a lot of credit. I have my credit on the field. What the hell do I need anything else? My goal just was to have the best team in the world, and it was good for the company. That was my goal. Nothing else.
The lunatics took over the asylum.
He was always pleasant to me, you know, he's a suck-up guy. Pele, when he scored a goal, never looked at us. Bobby Smith, when he scored a goal, never looked at us. But every time that Giorgio scored a goal, he would run back in front of Steve and bow down and suck up to Steve.
By the last week of June 1977, Canaglia had 8 goals and the team had 10 wins. They avenged 2 straight losses to the Rowdies in front of more than 62,000 fans.
Pele scored a hat-trick. When I look at games that I played in America, that would definitely be top of the heap.
Then, they dropped 5 of their next 7 games.
See, for us, said, no, now we have Pele, we have Beckenbauer, we have Canaglia. But the rest, you need more.
So I went back to Sao Paulo.
In my opinion, the most important signing from a team point of view was Carlos Alberto.
As captain of the Brazilian national team, he had helped Pele win his 3rd World Cup title in 1970. With only 4 games remaining in the '77 season, Carlos Alberto came to America to help his old teammate win one last championship.
It's unforgettable. The day I arrived in New York, it was the day of the blackout.
At 9:34 last night, it all went black.
Dark streets was a wild outburst of crime.
A night of no lights, elevators, subway trains, airports, air conditioning, traffic signals, television.
Arson, looting, mugging, and 1,000 false fire alarms.
In the darkness, July 13th, it seemed as if the world was turning upside down.
We had the criminal Son of Sam, who was a serial murderer. Riots in a blackout. Major problem was the bankruptcy of the city of New York. It was nearly quite a year.
When the power returned, the lights came up on Soccer in America.
Soccer, and it's fast becoming as popular here as it's been in the rest of the world.
It was like an explosion.
I mean, it was a whirlwind. It was like a meteor taking off. One day we were nobody, and the next day we're playing at Giant Stadium, and limos picking us up to take us right to Studio 54 after the game.
had a table there, you know, a big table. It was reserved for the Cosmos, not only for the players, also for, you know, for the bosses.
The doorman looked me up and down and gave me a hard time until I uttered the 4 magic words, "I'm with the Cosmos."
I remember people making out up there, in full view of you, celebrities walking in and out.
Every Monday night, they had a party at the Studio 54. This was a part of the development of football also in the United States, soccer in the United States.
Everybody was invited to the party.
I was the first one out on the field every game, and you felt it. You walked out there, and all of a sudden, one by one, I'd stand there as these giants of soccer, these international stars, bigger than life players. They were coming out of this tunnel like gladiators coming out to do battle.
August 14th, 4 days after police arrested David Berkowitz, the self-proclaimed son of Sam, the New York Cosmos sold out one of the biggest football stadiums in the world.
It was a playoff game against Fort Lauderdale. The first time in the history sold out. The Giant Stadium was sold out with 77,000 and something else.
Soccer is a game that everybody's involved with.
Takes stamina, speed, strength.
The excitement and something going on all the time.
I think it'll be right up there with baseball as a national pastime.
Soccer is not only here to stay, but will be perhaps the ultimate, the biggest big league of all.
It was just unexpected, unbelievable glory.
Basking in the glory, high above the masses, sat the king of American soccer, Steve Ross.
He would sit on the second level of Giant Stadium, which is fairly high up because he thought he could see the action better. He could see the whole field and what was going on.
And we had to put chains on him because from the mezzanine at Giant Stadium, he was always arguing with the referee, and everybody was afraid he was going to go fly down.
A remarkable sellout crowd of 76,000 last night at Giant Stadium. The Cosmos, the new darlings in town, beat Rochester 4-1 to make their way to the final, the Soccer Bowl in Portland, which will be seen here on Channel 4 on Sunday, starting at 4.
Ross watched his one-time ragtag team become champion.
What I remember most about the championship game in 1977 was how excited the players were because they wanted to win a championship for Pelé.
We all felt responsible. It was Pelé's last game competitive. You know, we wanted to do it for him.
It is Pelé's final year, and we'd like him to leave the way he deserves to leave as a champion.
That was not marketing, that was not PR, that was genuine, and it was very touching.
It just fell into place on the day, for me personally. Scored what's probably put down as one of the most memorable goals in Soccer Bowl history.
But the game winner in the 81st minute belonged to Pelé's locker room rival, Canaglia.